That's it for our previews for those games. Let's get into the counter. Let's talk about our best bets. What are we walking up here to the counter, banging our debit cards on the table, saying, "Hey, what are we taking this week?" Uh, I've only got two bets for this week, right? Because, well, if you want to check out our best bets for the bowl games, we have a lot more to offer there, right? Because there's a lot more games. But for this, I only got two bets, right? Only in four games, which I think is pretty good, right? You don't always scrape up two bets. I believe you also got two bets as well. So four games, four bets from each of us. That's fine. Or four bets combined, I guess. I'll start, I guess. I'll take Ohio State minus 2.5 against Oregon. I talked about it. I think Ohio State's a more talented team. If we get that Tennessee game, right, that Tennessee team that we saw Ohio State play against, we get high level Will Howard, we get a high level secondary playing well for Ohio State. I think they win this football game, and I think it's more than a field goal.
Yeah, it's not crazy at all. I mean, I thought about it. I really did think about it. But I think Oregon, I just gave them a lot of credit. And what they've done and responded in big spots here. That coaching staff is damn good. There's a lot of talent there. Um, I leaned your way for sure. And if I had to pick one, it would have been that one, in that game. But yeah, I might stay away from that one just because I think those are the two best teams in the country. And like, I could see a lot of things happening in that game to where my conviction isn't quite there enough to put my money behind my mouth. I will go over to the Peach Bowl though. Give me Texas team total over 31 and a half. And this could be a spot here where I kind of buy a point, maybe a half a point here because I think 31, obviously a key number in football for scoring. But we've seen Arizona State give up 30 plus points to inferior offenses, right, than this Texas team. I know that Quinn Ewers is hard to be trusted at times, but we've also seen him play really good football in big time games before in his career. But the reason why I'm taking this is I think you get Isaiah Bond healthy, right? You get some offensive linemen back, and even if they aren't healthy, you have very good quality backups in there, and I think they'll be able to run the football and run the ball well. And obviously, you get to a second half where this is a 12-point spread. So you could see a spot where you have some negative game script in terms of Texas not trying to score the football at will. But I think they do enough to get over 31 and a half. And also, I wouldn't surprise me if Arizona State's scheming up some things and some long, quick touchdowns where Texas time of possession and their actual number of possessions will be favor of me, right? Getting that team total over 31 and a half.
Yeah, I don't think you're crazy at all. Not something I'll hop on, but I like the thought process there. I'm going to go to the Notre Dame Georgia game, like we just talked about. I'm going to take under 45.5. Keep it simple, stupid. And that'll be my last bet. I don't think either of these teams are going to be reaching 24, 28 points. I think this is a closer 20 to 17 game, 17-13, 17-14, 13-10, right? I see these defenses matching up very well with each other. You got a young quarterback, Gunnar Stockton. We'll see what he's able to do. Riley Leonard taking care of the football. I don't anticipate a ton of turnovers happening in this game, giving teams short fields. I think we see the punters put in a lot of work this game.
Yeah, I'm kind of in a similar spot with you. I'm just going to stick on one side here, sticking with the team total idea. Notre Dame under 22 and a half. And I kind of like that line. I know 23 is a spot that I could realistically get to, but I think 20, 21 is right going to be where Notre Dame's going to be and maybe lower. This game feels like a first to 21, first to 20 wins. You know what I mean? Where you've got a spot where there's going to be, I think, a game script and a flow and the momentum of the game that, like you said, kind of leans towards the under, especially if some defensive lines and the fronts are having their way. And even if they aren't, right, I think running the football, you're going to see both these teams try to do and churn some clock. It's going to be about maybe getting red some stops here for either of these teams, but I also don't trust either of these teams like too much in the red zone. I know they're like Notre Dame specifically is very good in the red zone in terms of scoring touchdowns. They're 10th in the country at 75+%. But I also think like with these defenses, with some injuries, blah, 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 like other things, I see a spot where I just have a hard time seeing Notre Dame putting up over 23 points. And I think, yeah. Also, oh, by the way, I think Notre Dame can win and get under 21 points too, under 22 and a half points. My last thing I'll say about
Absolutely.
that, this could be a spot where it's 17, 13, 19.
Yeah,
to
I'm with you.
16. Like it's going to be a really muddied up game. I wouldn't be surprised at that at all.
That's going to do it for our preview. Best bets, previews of our games and the college football playoffs. I'm excited. Can't wait for these games, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. Make sure you guys are locked in. Make sure if you like the content, like the video. It's that simple. Make sure you guys are also subscribed as well so you can be tuned in for the rest of the college football playoffs, but also Coaching Carousel, where I think we do a particularly good job on this show previewing those coaches heading into their new jobs. We're kind of waiting on some of these coaches to put together some staffs, maybe some of this transfer portal stuff to die down a little bit, and we'll have a better look right at where we'll see these coaches um, in the future stacked up, relative to their conference and the rest of college football, and then also the transfer portal. We'll be talking about players as well. Yeah, this is the Redshirt Sophomore, right? We don't sit out, so make sure you guys are strapped up. CD, anything for you on the way out?
No, listen to everything he just said. Obviously, thank you guys for watching. Hope you're enjoying the football games as much as we are, and also being able to cover it as well. Thanks for all your support. And if you're still listening right now, you guys are awesome. And thank you so much.
And we'll see y'all in the next one.